So in this special video, I'm going to be revealing to you the 7 biggest mistakes that people make as they're going out there and trying to attract men and attract love. I'm really excited to reveal this to you because this is not just based on my own personal experience as just a guy getting out there or even my experience as a coach. This is based on, we just ran a report, the 41,627 women who have joined our programs over the year. And we've gotten a lot of data. We've gotten a lot of feedback and a lot of surveys. And I wanted to just create this video, no fancy schmancy studio, just me and you, just like this, so I can walk you through these mistakes. And the thing about learning from other people's mistakes is once you understand how other people have made missteps, it can really cut down the amount of time it takes to achieve the result that you want, right? I want to learn from people's mistakes in all areas of my life, and this video is designed to do just that. Now, you are in the right place if you have been dating, if you're single or in a casually complicated relationship, and you're finding that you are getting out there and just not attracting the right caliber of men. Maybe you're going on some dates and it's just not quite clicking, or maybe you're not even going on dates because you're just not meeting the right type of guys. Or finally, when you do meet a guy that you really like, it just doesn't quite click. Maybe at first it's working out, but then the fade out starts to happen anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months into the relationship. Or maybe, just maybe, you find yourself in a relationship, a long-term committed relationship with a guy, but once all of those kind of early chemicals and like those love chemicals start to fade off after the honeymoon phase, you discover that this man is a horrible human being. He's what we call an emotional energy vampire. If you've ever experienced that before, I just want to tell you, you are not alone. And the problem with all of this is that when you experience these challenges in your dating life, it tends to start to hurt our confidence and think that there is something wrong with us. And many of our clients join our programs and they tell me, Adam, I feel like if I don't figure this out, I feel like I'm going to take my last breath on this earth alone. And I take that very seriously because we all are looking for love when we are going through this process. Every single client is looking for love, and that's exactly what it is I want to help you with today. This is going to be a very tactical training to help you avoid this. Now, I want to just tell you though, as we go into this, I want to give you hope, okay? You can attract love. Most people don't think that love is something you just get out there and find. But what we do here at Love Strategies is we give you a specific strategy to be able to get out there and attract love. And you'll see there's a bunch of videos right there below. I don't share those videos to show off, although I am so proud of our clients because they actually got out there and took action. I'm showing you all of those videos, all of those stories, because I want to inspire you. I want to inspire you to not sit at home and just hope that love is going to find you. I want you to feel that incredible inspiration to get out there and attract the right man, because that guy's out there for you. He is doing something right now. God knows what he's doing in his life, but he is waiting for you to appear in his life. And once you kind of learn these mistakes, I'm going to go through the mistakes and then give you a solution that you can actually use starting today. It's going to be very, very tactical. Then suddenly I want to help you feel more confident when you're going out there. I want you to have men start pursuing you for love. I know it's hard to believe right now, but it is absolutely possible. And most importantly, I want you to be able to date without any games, without any of the BS, so you can just be real and raw when you're meeting people. But that's not possible without a strategy. Now, if you haven't met me before or watched any of our videos, my name is Adam LaDolce. I'm the founder of this company called lovestrategies.com, where again, we help successful single women get out there and attract love and do it with a proven strategy. And look, I don't need to get into it, but we have the absolute best track record on the planet when it comes to helping women find love. You can see all the stories right there below. I've been doing this for the past decade. You've maybe seen me, I've lectured at a lot of universities across the country, about 300 now, on the science of dating and attraction. I've also maybe seen me on like TV, TLC, or all that stuff, but none of that matters because honestly, I don't like doing any of that stuff. I like to help women on a very tactical level be able to get out there with intention, be able to value themselves and realize that they deserve an incredible relationship. And suddenly, once they go through the solution portion of this, they are able to attract long-lasting love. But the reality is, I am breaking through right here some head trash that you have in your mind. because the harsh reality is that ever since you were a little girl, you have been told to just follow your heart. And if you just kind of go about your everyday business, a man will just come into your life. You'll bump into him walking down the street. The papers will go flying. He'll help you pick up all those papers. And then suddenly you'll make eye contact and that's it, okay? Hollywood movies and Disney movies have been telling you a lie. And what I want to do right now is break through some of those those lies that you've been told throughout your life and give you a more practical and more effective strategy to actually get out there. And all of the stories right there below, before I get into this, I'll get into this right now. Every single woman has gone through a very specific process, and we call it the little love steps. And the little love steps are 7 little love steps that you can go through today to start actually attracting high quality men. And what I want you to do is watch this video, learn these mistakes, understand the solutions, and if at the end of the video you really want to take real action in your love life, then what you can do is apply to jump on a phone call with one of my love strategists. They will speak to you directly, get to know you, and they'll see whether or not you are a fit. I have nothing to sell you here. In fact, we're not like a sales organization. Most of the clients who apply to work with us, we will actually tell them they're not a good fit. We only want to work with clients that we know we can help with 100% that are a good fit, who are really dedicated to the process. It's not to say that we won't be very gracious and we'll of course point you in the right direction, but really at the end of the day, I create this content because I want you to get real value. And of course, ultimately, I want to find my dream clients, those clients who are really going to commit themselves to the process and make it happen. So like I said, at the end of this video, if this rings true to you, go ahead and apply. You'll see a whole thing below, and you can jump on a phone call with someone on my team who, those people are incredible and they'll be able to help you. So let's get into some of the mistakes, and you are gonna have to mind my handwriting because I have some of the worst chicken scratch in the world, but don't you worry about it. So I'm gonna go through the 7 biggest mistakes, and the mistakes are gonna be in black because the solution is going to be in red, because when you're making these mistakes, you have what I call black heart syndrome, and then the solution is your red heart syndrome. This is where we're going to start opening our heart to the right type of men. So the first mistake, let's see. All right, here we go. The first mistake is leading with masculine energy. I had a client the other day. She was one of the, I can't, of course, say her name because that is all confidential, but she's one of the top executives at a major Fortune 500 company. And the thing about her is she doesn't take crap from anybody. And I remember when she came on our group session, she was telling me about her job and how, she's just so high pressure. She doesn't have time for dating. And I could tell this is the type of woman in the boardroom. Oh my God, does she just run things? She just tells people what to do, when to do them. And she was going on a lot of lunch dates in between her kind of like working time, because that's the only time she could do it. And what I told her is that in the corporate world, she is probably bringing a lot of a masculine energy, a lot of directive energy, a lot of penetrating energy to her life. And the reality is that just like the yin and the yang, there's a masculine energy and then there's a feminine energy. And I started to explain to her in detail the differences between these two energies. And by the way, both men and women both have masculine and feminine energy. It's just in different circumstances, we might bring more of it or less of it. And what I told her is if she was going on lunch dates in between her corporate meetings, chances are she was bringing a 10 out of 10 of masculine energy to those dates. And the problem is, here's the thing. If you want to attract a masculine man, a man who is dominant, a man who is penetrating, who's sure of himself in a very healthy way. But if you do want to be with a man who is very sure of himself and a decision maker, and we get into all this in the program, but if you want to be with that type of man, if you bring masculine energy as well to that date, what's going to happen is you're going to repel, okay? Masculine energy is only going to be, the more you step into your feminine energy, the more you are going to attract men with masculine energy. Because if you are just constantly going out there with masculine energy, guess the type of men that you're going to attract. Can you guess? Okay, let me tell you. They are more kind of feminine nature men. So if you've ever experienced that, then it's likely you were dating with a lot of masculine leading energy. So the solution to this, let's go into red heart syndrome, is little love step number 1 is called build your sexy confidence. So sexy confidence is essentially leaning into your feminine energy and realizing that you are a high value woman that needs to be pursued, okay? And this is a massive shift for a lot of our clients to go through this process of understanding this. And the thing is, once you're aware of your masculine and feminine energy, suddenly now you can notice it everywhere that you go. But sexy confidence is all about appreciating your feminine energy and, most importantly, remembering that feminine energy is the most powerful energy throughout the dating process. A lot of women think that, sadly, that feminine energy is a weak energy. Definitely not. You know what's a weak energy is masculine energy, trying to win over every single woman, doing everything you can to pursue her. Let me tell you, I used to coach men, and I used to literally help hundreds of men get out there and attract love before I started Love Strategies. And this is a challenging energy. And when women start to step into their sexy confidence, suddenly dating becomes more fun. Suddenly this entire process becomes more effective, and men, high value men who are masculine, start to pursue them. All right, so that is mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, dating the wrong types of men. Okay, dating the wrong type. So this really goes back to this idea of we've been told to just follow our heart, okay? And what that generally turns into is us going on dates and only going after a certain type of guy. Maybe the types of guys who are overly arrogant or confident, or the guys who are only extremely flaunting their success and their resources and their value. The types of guys who drive the fancy cars and the fancy watch and all of those things. Now, I'm not saying that we don't want to be with a high value man who is, successful and on your level. We definitely do. But the types of men that usually tend to flaunt it are the types of men who are actually broke when you go behind the scenes, okay? And it's not just about money, it's about everything. The types of guys who flaunt their confidence, who can walk into a room and be the most dominant man, those are some of the most insecure man boys you could ever meet, okay? So dating the wrong type is a very normal thing when people are going out there and just following their heart. So what is the solution to this? The second one is little love step number 2 is when you create your love vision, okay? This is a process that my clients go through once they start building their sexy confidence. By the way, this doesn't involve even meeting men. This is just a process they go through to start valuing themselves and building their own confidence. Then we go through this exercise of creating your love vision. This is where we get crystal clear about the man and the relationship we want, because we believe if you do not have a bullseye, something you're going after, you're going to miss it every single time. So this process gives us something that we can really put down. And by the way, it's not just a list, all right? Anyone can create a list of 60 things that they want to find in a man, all right? That's not the purpose of this. This process gives people more direction on what it is that we are looking for in a partner, in a lifelong partner. And it really holds us true to those attributes. And in many ways, creating a love vision doesn't narrow our focus, it actually broadens our horizon. Because rather than just going after things that are superficial, that only get us short-term results, what does it do? It actually allows us to start attracting people who might be not the normal archetype of guys that we go after. And those are going to be the types of guys who are actually the good, respectful, kind men that you can actually spend the rest of your life with. Keep chasing your impulses, dating the wrong type of men, and you will constantly find yourself in short-term relationships. Start getting intentional about the long-term attributes that will set you up for success. What do you know? Then you get set up for long-term success. And this is a really fun exercise. And by the way, every single client of ours that you'll probably hear below, so many of them will talk about their love vision and how that was one of the most important exercises that they've ever gone through. Now, the third big mistake is going to the wrong places, okay? When it comes to getting out there and meeting men, the question is, where do I go to actually meet high value men who are on my level? And I get it. It can be really challenging to find, especially if you are like most of our clients, you have a lot going for you. You're successful, you're confident, you have a lot going for you in your life. However, you can't seem to find men who are necessarily on your level. So that's why in Little Love step number 3, we get you out there going to, this is called Meet HVMs, okay? These are high value men. And let me tell you one thing I've learned over the years is that high value men go to high value places to meet high value women, all right? High value men go to high value places to meet high value women. And that's not just like, this can include online dating, this can include obviously the venues you're going to, but we have a number of different strategies to give you on where it is that you can go to meet these types of guys. And online dating is absolutely a part of this, but the purpose of online dating is not to just go with just some Joe Schmo. It's to be actually extremely intentional about where it is that you're going, and then finally, and who it is that you're going out with. And then most importantly, as you start getting into the Little Love step number 3, this is where the rubber meets the road. And this is the point where I want you going out and meeting a lot of people, especially in the early stages. So we have this tracker that we call, it's called a social score. All right, and this is a very simple mechanism that we use, all my clients, and you'll probably hear it in the videos below if you watch any of our success stories. They'll be talking about their social score. And this is essentially the number of guys that you're meeting on a regular basis. No one ever that I'm aware of in all of human history has talked about tracking the number of new people that they're meeting on a monthly basis. But let me tell you, I've had so many clients over the years of doing this for a decade where clients would be like, Adam, there are no good guys out there. I can't meet anyone. Oh my God, where are all the good men? And then I say, okay, well, Jasmine, this happened the other day. What's your social score? And she'll say, well, it's actually 0. 0? You're gonna tell me that there are no good men out there when you have a social score of 0? So it's like saying that this diet doesn't work, but you haven't eaten a single broccoli since you started the diet, right? You gotta actually go through with it. So it's that Little Love step number 3 that we use our love vision to go to high value places to meet high value men. Notice how this whole thing builds on itself, okay? Build your confidence first, understand feminine energy, create your love vision, then start going to high value places to meet high value men and keeping track of it, okay? Are you with me so far? This is doable. We call these the little love steps for a reason. They are little, very tactical steps that you can take moving forward to attract love. Now, let's get into mistake number 4. I got my handy dandy notes. Would be to chasing men, okay? So it's at this point in the process where you're finally getting out there and meeting a number of different men. And there are gonna be some guys that you go out with on a first meetup or first date, and that guy within 2 seconds, you're gonna be like, no way in heck am I ever seeing this man ever again. That's gonna happen. That's a natural part of the process. And then there's gonna be some guys that you sit down with and it's like, and this is the man that you want to spend the rest of your life with. You want to have children with this man immediately, or if you're no longer in that children-bearing age, you were like, I wish I could go back in time and bear children with this man because I'm so into this guy, okay? It's that type of situation. And guess what happens when you find yourself with that type of guy where the chemistry is really strong and you're just feeling it? You get into, and this is a natural part of the process, you get into chase mode, okay? Where you are the one initiating contact, you are the one asking for plans, you are the one trying to push things forward, you're trying to move this boulder up a hill and try to make something happen. But here's the thing, when we get to Little Love step number 3, now let's get to, I wanna make sure I got room on this. Good, Little Love step 4, this is what we call qualify your dating options. Okay? So this is where you actually qualify. You are the one who is qualifying to see if they are a good fit for you, not the other way around. We have a saying here at Love Strategies, and that is be a chooser, not a chaser. okay? You are the chooser. You are the one determining if this man meets your love vision, if he's a good fit for you, not the other way around. And when we're going on first dates, when you bring that mindset that I am the prize, I am the person that he is begging to win over, and you bring that mindset and you ask the questions that we give you and you have all the tools at your disposal, suddenly being the qualifier is easy. Even when you meet a man who is that really handsome guy who gives you just those butterflies in your stomach. It is absolutely possible to be the qualifier. So from moving forward, be thinking about how it is that you can actually be qualifying your dates to see if they are fit for you rather than the other way around. Now let's get to mistake number 5. And this is a big one for many of our clients. And this is, I would say, of all the little love steps and mistakes that a lot of people make when they join, this is probably the most important one and also the most challenging one to actually work through, all right? And this is simply moving too fast. Now, a lot of our clients, when they meet a guy, they are just really, really into what tends to happen. Well, the guy, you go on a first date, it just clicks, and then the guy will say, hey, let's meet up this weekend. And you say, yeah, of course. Then you go out on that date or whatever, things are going really well. Then maybe he's like, you know what, actually, let's hang out on Sunday as well. And he's actually the one pushing things forward. You say, great, yeah, I would love to do that. And just things are vibing, you're doing really well. And then the next weekend, he's like, you know what, I have a lake house, a cabin at my lake house. We should spend the weekend together. And you're like, that feels a little fast, but okay, I'll do it. And so you do it and you start sleeping together. Before you know it, you have known this stranger for about 3 weeks. And it's at this point where you've spent so much time with this particular guy, it is moving so fast, just the way I'm talking right now, it is moving so fast that he then goes, wait a second, hold on, I think we're moving a little bit fast. You need to slow things down, or we need to slow things down. So, to get clear, the guy will move fast, very fast throughout the process, and then be the one to say, nope, you're actually moving too fast, or let's slow things down. Have you ever had that happen to you? Or it might just even erupt into this whole whoa, I don't know if I can do this, I'm not really ready for a relationship, and you're thinking in your head, dude, you're the one who's actually pushing things forward. So, how do we avoid this mistake? Well, that's what little love step number 5 is all about. I want to make sure I have self-room. I got room. All right, perfect. And that is to pace. Pace the progression of your connection. And this is where we very intentionally slow things down in the early stages of dating, continue to explore other options. We don't get exclusive to a man too quickly, right? Because we are a high-value woman who needs to get to know the guy before we even consider exclusivity or giving him too much of our affection or too much of our time. We slow things down, which, by the way, raises your value in the guy's eyes and makes him continue pursuing you even further. Okay, pacing is so critically important, especially at this stage. And I'm constantly telling my clients to pace, pace, pace. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Adam, that feels like manipulative or game playing or something like that. Nothing here is manipulative. Nothing here is game playing. In fact, this is the most authentic way to date because we teach you to slow things down, give you an ample amount of time to actually get to know who is this human being before sleeping with him, before spending too much time with him, before being exclusive with him. Actually get to know him. But at the same time, I want you to be showing interest in him. I want you to be telling him that you like him. I want you to be opening up to him and be vulnerable to him. All of that you can do while slowing things down and moving at a very intentional pace. And when you learn how to show interest and tell him, that you like him, you enjoy spending time with you, compliment him, while at the same time pacing, wow, this is the most potent way to continue having a guy pursue you for long-lasting love. That's it. I mean, this is the whole thing. And our clients, every single one of our clients, I swear to God, you can, if you want to listen to their stories, they go through this process of pacing because they find that once they meet a guy that they really like, finally they met a guy they like, it's at this point that they actually continue putting their foot on the metal and meeting other people, keeping their options open. Doesn't mean they're sleeping with other people. They're certainly not exclusive with multiple guys at the same time. None of that. It's just that We don't give someone all of our affection who hasn't yet been exclusive with us. It's at this point we're still not exclusive with anyone. Until Little Love step number 6, we're not exclusive. We're still open for business, okay, to meet new people. And that is the power of this process. It's drawing that very clear line in the sand of what is exclusivity and what is not exclusivity. It is incredibly powerful. And ultimately, we always say this: never invest more in a man than he is investing in you. Once you live by those principles, then suddenly all of this is really, really effective. Now let's get into Little Love step number 6. Or excuse me, mistake number 6 would be falling in the casual trap, okay? So the casual trap is when you start sleeping with a guy for a few months or even longer than that. I've seen casual traps go on for longer, where you were sleeping with a guy for months on end or even years, and it's kind of what we call a situationship. You're not yet in an official relationship. It's not exclusive yet, but he's essentially getting the girlfriend experience, okay? You might be making him dinner, you might be sleeping together all the time, you might be spending your entire weekends together, you might be even saying I love you together, but it's still a casual situation. And the reason why it's a trap is because when you find yourself in this situation, it's really hard to get out of, right? Because you're so emotionally engaged. Have you ever been in these situations? There's a casual relationship. You're so emotionally tied to this man that you cannot seem to be able to get out. So the casual trap is something we deeply want to avoid like the plague. So how do we do this? Little step number 7 is to set boundaries. Number 6 is to set boundaries for exclusive relationship. Okay? And the first boundary that you set for an exclusive relationship is, guess what? Commitment. Having a real, clear conversation about what is commitment, okay? We call this the define the relationship conversation, DTR. And that is where we really get clear about what is the situation. Are we exclusive or are we not? And we give you all the tools, all the resources that you would need to have that open dialogue. Notice everything, this is a whole mess right here. Sorry for my chicken scratch. But notice everything here is so doable. Little Love steps number 1 through 6, you can do this. And then the beautiful thing is Little Love step number 7, or the biggest mistake, is lack of communication in a relationship. It's at this point that you are in a loving, committed relationship with the man who meets your love vision, and a lot of people just don't communicate their needs and where their life is going. So what Little Love step number 7 is all about is what we call relationship alignment. I don't even know if you guys can see this right now, but I'm gonna say it. I'll leave a note down there below, an ebook, so you guys can just get all of this stuff, so you don't have to read my chicken scratch. But the point of all this is to help you go from black heart, the mistakes, to a red heart, which is the Little Love steps. Little Love steps number 1 all the way to 7. And notice that the first few Little Love steps are all about you. Making you just the most confident, vibrant woman you could possibly be. Little Love steps 3 through 5 are just when you're out there dating. This is where you're just getting out there, meeting high quality men, raising your value, and slowing things down. And then Little Love steps number 6 and 7 are when you are in an exclusive, committed relationship. This is a decade of work just summed up in a very short video. So what I want to do is really, if this rings true to you and this is something that you want to learn more about and get involved in our community and everything that we do, I want to just simply invite you to book a call with someone on my team. I am looking for more of our dream clients. I want to take someone who is really ready to attract love. They're really ready. They don't just say they're kind of ready. They're at that point in their time in their life where they're like, I want to find a great man, a high value guy. And they're willing to open their mind to a new way of doing things. And they're also willing to make an investment because this is not, we put a lot into this. I have coaches. We put a lot of our time into this. The Love Accelerator and the program that you'd be applying to speak with someone about, if you're approved, it's not free. So you need to obviously be at a point where you are willing and able to make an investment in that. We'll talk about that on the calls. But ultimately, what I want to do is just invite you to apply right there below, book that call with someone on my team. My love strategists are amazing. They are like some of the kindest and gentlest people in the world, but they'll also give it to you straight. If they think that you are not really committed, they're not going to open up a seat for you in Love Accelerator. We only want the right types of clients, but they'll also be very kind about it. And if at the end of the call they do think that you are a good fit for the program, they are going to work with you to get you into this program, because we know that we have a process now from A to Z to get you out there and attracting long-lasting love. So no more sitting at home hoping that the man will just appear out of thin air and be able to sweep you off of your feet. Never again. You now have a process from start to finish, where you are right now, to build your sexy confidence, create your love vision, all the way down to what we call relationship alignment. This is a loving, committed relationship. The path is here. So the only question is, are you going to take it? Go ahead and apply there below. And thank you so much for watching this. I hope it was useful for you. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye-bye.